Got a new vlog up for you, so we're going to be taking a look at episodes 8 and 9 of Anohana. And I've got to admit, the episodes so far have been really escalating in terms of quality and plot progression. Now, one of the things I find the most interesting about this anime is how well it's paced. Like, nothing feels too rushed or slowed down. Like, if you pay close enough attention to some details, they actually play important parts later in the story. So, some details may or may not get put in the spotlight later, so yeah, I'm really enjoying the pacing and plot progression, so good on ya, Anohana. So, let's take a look at episode 8 here. So, yes, Menma's parents have rejected the idea of the fireworks going off because for them they've been behaving abnormally since their daughter had died, according to Menma's younger brother, and also to him, he didn't remember much of her, but what he does remember was that she was part of Jinta's group, and he was asked to keep peace in the house. So in a way, he was sort of involved in the Super Peace Corps, or whatever the name is. So, once again, Yukiatsu's being a dick, and he's saying that Jinta is letting out all his pain on others, and Anaru suspects that he's just taking this pain on himself because he's jealous that he himself is unable to see Menma for whatever reason, and it's showing that the group dynamic has changed and it may not go back to the way it has been as kids, because although nobody has changed, there is no more everyone, according to Jinta. So Jinta works himself out so much to the point where he passes out at the video game store where Anaru works, and this is where, in one of the more heart-wrenching scenes, Anaru reveals that she was actually sort of happy about when Jinta accidentally called her ugly, but now she feels guilty about feeling so happy about it, and due to the fact that she's guilty about having feelings for Jinta, and she can't seem to forgive herself for that. And they all know that once Menma's wish is granted, then she'll disappear or rest in peace, which Jinta suspects this is something that Menma might want as well, because, yeah, she might not want to be a spirit forever, but who knows. So, and we also learned that Menma's mom had held a grudge against everyone else because of what happened to Menma, and everyone is pretty much, according to Jinta, everybody's just drowning in their own self-guilt over what had happened in the past. And it's really interesting to see how it's affected each of the characters individually throughout the series, but I don't think we've given much of what Suruko's viewpoint is, but maybe we'll see it in episode 10, hopefully. Crossing my fingers for that one. So, they also get and the group, aside from Jinta, is getting voiceless calls, so they all gather at the shed, and Jinta eventually shows up because he also gets a voiceless call, but they eventually put together that it was Menma who was making the calls, and Menma is able to make herself clear to everybody by picking up the diary and writing to them. So the group goes from being skeptical about Menma's presence to being undoubtedly, yeah, she's here. Let's do this. So, on to episode 9. Yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, so, also, I have to point out, Honor and Suruko's reactions to them seeing a ghost as their friend is kind of funny. I kind of giggled at that. Okay. So, and the group is surprised that Menma is actually not very angry at them for her death, and what had happened that led up to it. And Suruko's thinking that it's torment for not being forgiven or something along those lines. And according to Yukiatsu, getting real tired here, shit, bro, just saying. Anyway, Jintan wanted Menma for himself because Menma is only visible to Jintan, but not to everybody else. But we don't know the reason for this yet, and I'm hoping that the revelation for this isn't like a total downer, because that would suck so much. I would hate that. Okay, so Yukiatsu vows to make the fireworks so that Menma can rest in peace, and he actually begs Menma's father to give him the okay to make the firework. And is it bad that I actually kind of giggled at that scene a little bit? But I digress. And also, we finally get in the guy who had that executive, the guy that makes fireworks, is actually agreeing to let the kids do their thing, and they're like, oh yeah, that's sweet, hooper-dooper-doo. But then Anaru, while she's helping, she still feels inferior to Menma even after her death. So Anaru goes away by herself, and Yukiatsu eventually meets up with her, and he said he was about to snap too, and in this scene it's implied more that they're more similar than they originally thought, because they feel inferior to the situation in a way. Also, we also learned that Yukiatsu was actually serious about wanting to date Anaru, but yeah, she feels rather helpless, according to Yukiatsu, which I'll have to agree with him on that. Anaru is kind of helpless with men, but still. Also, Suruko overhears this conversation. Dun dun dun! What will this entail? What will we know? Does that sentence make sense? I don't know. Anyway, for some reason, Menma is only able to write in her diary, but not in anything else. And again, hopefully this will be resolved in the last 2 episodes, because if it's not, or at least not resolved in the movie, then, well, shit. And also, there are these, and in the end, Menma goes down into the river, and she tries to find this carp, but Jinta won't let her go into the river because it brought back memories of Menma's death. So he decides to look for the carp himself, and that's what ends it. Now, aside from the ending in episode 9, this was another really good episode. Yeah, I thought the ending was a tad It could have been better, but for what it was, for what they are, episodes 8 and 9 are really good. And I'm hoping that the last 2 episodes and the movie are just as good, if not better. So, cross my fingers, we got 2 more episodes in the movie, whoop whoop. So, this is the Mage of Breath, signing out.